Hey, everybody, and welcome to another wonderful, fun filled, exciting, and energetic, loving, crazy, just joyous experience at the Dice That Bind Us, where I lead a bunch of these lovely, lovely people surrounding me on an adventure that is entirely purposed to make them cry. Um, my name is Alex. I use he, him pronouns, and I play all the characters that all of the beautiful, beautiful people around me don't play.
My name is Dash. I use they, them, their pronouns, and I play Lysander Elias, who uses he or they pronouns, and Lysander is a Furbolg paladin to Sylvanas.
I am Dakota, and I play the half-orc barbarian Gargak, and we use he/him pronouns.
I'm Rob. I play Anook. He is the Goliath druid, and we go by he, him pronouns, but Anook also goes by they, them sometimes if needed.
Fair enough. I am Zach. I play Tumult, a male air genasi warlock multi-classed with one level of cleric. As people like to point out that I don't use very often, except for myself. I heal myself. And I like to mess with people's religions. I use he, him pronouns, and so does Tumult.
Hi, I'm Devin. I use they or he pronouns, and I play Ivan, the tiefling chainlock that uses he or him pronouns.
Hi, I'm Azradeth. I play Tempard, and we both play they, them pronouns.
As you can tell, we are missing our lovely, lovely Ian, who usually would play Tapartos with us. We have a pretty general rule that I think everybody that does nerdy things has, and that is that real life always comes first. So we will miss Ian dearly for this episode, and hopefully he will be back for next time. But as you all should be used to by now, it's the hardest part of the night for a lot of my players, where one of them has to go through and explain all the bullshit that I've put them through in the last episode. So, do I have any volunteers?
I don't have my notes, so I'm not going.
God.
And apparently, Dash has 2 pages.
I do have 2 pages of notes from the
Wonderful.
last session. So we started by Ivan was in the cave outside of Nightstone. Dandyland came to Ivan and basically told him to betray the party by killing Tapartos in order to gain Dandyland's favor. Ivan basically went, I can't do that. I am weak right now. Prove to me, like, do something to prove your power. And Ivan basically tricked Dandelion into giving him time to warn Soup and Phil in the actual dimension to get them to hide. And then Dandelion went power mode, got very angry, hated the rest of the party, chased us all down, sent like a meteor shower onto Nightstone, which we just saved. There's so many notes. And was on his own like quest to murder us. Tempard was going to jump out of the cart, and Moog basically pushed them back and said, no, not now. Moog and like Spectral Moog and Dandelion fought. Dandelion defeated Spectral Moog. And then after a little bit of kerfuffling, Tempard disguised themselves as Tapartos, and Dandelion killed them with power word kill, I think. So Tempard straight died. Lysander tried to revivify them, got a little god vision, and then it was up to Tempard to decide to come back or not. Meanwhile, we learned so much about the Temp clan that the CEO of the Temp clan is the devil, Osmodius himself, and is basically telling Tempard to join the Circle of 12, can never see this plane again with all their friends, anything along those lines. Tempard basically went, nah, I'm good, no thanks. Give me 30 days to recruit 2 people from the party, or just be sucked back in joining Osmodius anyway. So Tempard has been given 2 very hefty contracts to try and get the rest of the party to sign in. I think handed it to Tepartos and Ivan, if I remember correctly, are the 2 you decided to target with these.
I was trying to. Nobody wanted to take it. Because
And
nobody
then-
cares about my life, I guess.
And then in a lovely little last ditch, Lion Dandy appeared to us. His master was very upset with him, cannot provide us any more help. And we've been tasked to fix the wrongs, but found out Nightstone wasn't one of the wrongs. We're thinking too big. And we were given a lovely Lion Dandy hint with glowing lights over to Partos, Lysander, and a Nook. And that's pretty much where we left off, of trying to figure out why we're wrong, or what's wrong with something of us in the timeline and how to fix it.
Nook also wailed Bailey flopped.
Oh, that's very true.
Yeah.
There was
And we
a
found
flashback.
a world map out of a spectral glowing thing in the same cave that he met Dandelion. That was kind of interesting.
Oh yeah, that viewed like the actual world.
Yeah.
I think that was episode prior.
Was
same,
it?
Same
Did I
like
skip ahead?
recording, same recording thing, but
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you all are well aware at this point, we record these episodes in mass chunks because we all have lives that we live outside of this, and unfortunately, we can't do this for a living, so we got to go, work and crap.
So
But yeah, you are correct. That did happen, but I'm pretty sure it was the episode prior.
Still an important thing that
still an
Ivan saw
important
into the
thing.
real world.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
There could be other things like that hidden.
Now I get to do what is one of my favorite things as a DM is I get to watch my players think. So without any more of me talking for the next while, players, you find yourselves sitting in or around some wagons.
Has the meteor shower stopped?
It has.
Lovely.
You find yourself sitting in some wagons on the road that runs alongside Nightstone towards the caves, and the world is yours.
As it as it stands from the ending of last episode, I will lower the gun that I was looking through the scope at to see the last light hovering above a nook. We'll give him the gun back and try to, I guess, gather my thoughts. So I would step away for just a moment to sit down as I try to figure out what, in my own way, what those 3 might have in common. Or
not
not
have
in-
in common.
I mean, yeah, we're all connected to nature, through Sylvanas and through nature itself. But that, I don't know. Other than that, I feel fine. There's nothing wrong with me. I feel pretty good, actually.
If Dandelion can come through and do this to Nightstone, what can he go through and do to anywhere else?
Probably anything he wants,
Does anyone have message?
Ooh, I might. I've not used it. I have message.
I don't know if this can actually help me. The message has to be someone they have in contact with or have like a good picture of, correct?
They
You
can
point your finger towards a creature within range and whisper a message. The target and only the target hears the message and can reply in a whisper that only you can hear.
you were thinking of sending. No.
Mm.
As you're correct, that is message.
Okay,
Christy,
I
you're
am thinking of sending.
Yeah, I'm like, I have it pulled up. What do you mean I'm wrong?
That actually does not help me. I want to talk to my sister. I want to make sure she is okay. And I cannot do that. We're very far from there. Because if whatever is wrong here is a target on me, I fear for them. They're kind of the only thing I have left to lose at this point. but they're also very far away from here.
I mean, you and I, we got families back, there, but the Bartos, he don't got no family, He got us. We're the only family he has.
That's true, he does not. But what do...
What did?
What is different here with... And look, have you done anything different here? Does anything else feel different to you here than it does in the real world? Does anything feel different to me? Like, do I have anything like memories that feel fuzzy or...
Roll an insight check.
Lovely. A 10.
You get the sense that from what you can gather, there's no physical differences of you or Tapartos or Anuk or anything like that. Nobody's personalities seem to have been, of the three of you, seem to have been tampered with or affected in any way. You don't really have any real insight into the situation. Yeah.
If only my dice didn't hate me. That was a +6 too.
Oh,
I'm mad.
So
Remember that we're exhausted.
Yeah,
still,
all
so-
of you are still exhausted.
Oh,
We're
it would
not
be a
going
disadvantage.
anywhere, right? Or do we need to
That's
go
why I was
somewhere?
like triple checking.
And we got
Yeah.
the
Wait a
wagon.
second.
We can just put. I even though we helped them out, I don't think we want to go back to Nightstone. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
probably a
I
crater.
think we.
I will
Just,
also say, for mechanics knowledge, we can't long rest again for another 24 hours to actually get an effect from it.
Yeah. Is Anuk also a follower of Sylvanas?
oh no,
No? Okay.
I just
You're
didn't
not
think
a
so.
follower of anything, really, are
I
you?
follow nature.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, like any deity.
No.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't think so. All right.
But we are the plant boys.
Ah,
The plant boys. I like that. Yeah, that could be something right there.
Oh,
And the
what have I
rival
done?
gang support, which does nothing.
Looking at you, Tumult.
What?
I suppose we can go. Not here. We might be able to go back to Waterdeep or something to be.
could go to Golden Fields. Maybe try to find some answers there.
Because
That-
it's not the places that are
Yeah.
wrong.
Well, I don't think.
Just maybe someone
it's-
there knows something.
This is where I would pop back in and say I don't necessarily think it's the place itself that has to do it. It's the person in that place. If that it might make a difference, because in the
So
the thing I think the things that we got. What did we do in Golden Fields? I believe our memories are still
We
fuzzy, if I'm not mistaken,
saved
of that
the
area.
3.
So it's like I'm
I
trying to
think-
think. It's like I know I've been there, but I don't know what we did or what happened.
It had the thing to do with that 3 that Templar tried to stab.
We can find my girlfriend. Maybe that would help.
You're also not. I guess Tabartos did.
As a point, as you don't remember your girlfriend.
I
You don't remember
having a
any.
girlfriend.
Right? You don't remember the interaction with old Gnawbone.
So can I guess do
Let
my
me send
best
her a
to
letter.
history check my memories on Golden Fields?
Well,
Or
everybody's
some
doing
sort of
that. I'm gonna
check on
start
Golden Field?
scooping the ones that are exhausted into the wagon,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna get up onto the wagon and actually I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals and just tell the horses to start walking.
So this is a good time to ask this question.
all up on the wagon.
Was that Devin?
This is a good time to ask this question for the DM. Mechanics speaking. I can cast Levitate on myself, and definitely Invocations, Warlock shit.
Right.
Can I tie a rope to myself and have hands pull me while I levitate?
His hands can fly.
I can only go up and down with levitate. I have to push or pull on something.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That would be fine.
You can also tie yourself to the back of the moving cart.
I'll hold
could
on to the
try-
rope so I have an Ivan balloon while we go down the road.
And others keep watch.
Floating cat, just like
The
Bobbing
sad part
along.
is I can also do that because I have boots of levitation and I can cast levitate once a day on myself, so I can do
Do
that for
you?
a little bit.
lost everything.
Wasn't all of your stuff destroyed?
No, I got boots of levitation in this water deep.
Hell yeah.
While I'm driving the cart, I'm gonna think deeply about what's going on and how I feel and
Okay, go ahead and roll an insight check.
hey,
Oh,
look, I rolled a 1, so I got a 10.
Our memories are fuzzy, friend.
You know what, screw it. I use my inspiration.
Perfect.
So it'd be a 29.
the potatoes.
As Ivan, I'll tell the group, before I met with the Dandelion, there was a very interesting magical effect in the cave of Nightstone. I went back to where the Gum Gum and Our World had died. And there was these lights coming from the wall. I touched them and it showed me things in this world that I thought of. It was only like a limited time thing. It kicked me out after just a couple visions. But it's something, while we're so close, maybe you can all do it too. And I figured the worst case is you guys can't, and we'll just continue on our way. But it might be something to help us kind of vision where we're going next.
That is a solid point if it is still available to the rest of us.
Like I
If
say,
we
worst case, I mean, we're still exhausted, so we need to waste time anyway, I'm thinking.
True.
I'll start turning the cart around.
Yeah, I will say for sake of ease, Alex, if we go back into the cave, do we see it?
First, while you guys are traveling there, Anuk, using a DM point of inspiration to critically succeed on your roll. Because I do things differently. Watch the pre-video that explains all that crap. You dig real deep inside yourself. You start thinking about if anything about you feels different, if anything about you feels wrong. You start thinking about the things that you've seen while you've been here, the different interactions. You think that what Tumult said was on the right path about it doesn't have to do with the places, it has to do with the things and the people at those places. You spend some more time digging. It's a lot harder because you don't remember anything about what happened after Nightstone. So you gather that the best way to know what's different is, at least to start, to remember what happened the first time.
Didn't we remember what happened at Nightstone at least up until we left?
You did,
Okay.
but you don't remember anything past that.
Right. Okay.
We also didn't fully remember until after we read the note from Gum Gum, I believe. And that's when he said all of our memories started like clicking into place. Something
there was
triggered.
Yeah, so you had a specific, something very specific at that location triggered your memories to come back.
So mayhaps we could rummage through Golden Fields and find something that happened there that we remember.
True.
Because weren't you tied to that place, Anouk? Maybe?
I mean, kinda. I think that's where, it's a bit fuzzy. I was a fuzzy spider when I did it, yeah?
You remember
But,
you remember trading at Golden Fields? It besides Waterdeep itself, it was one of
Oh.
the major trade ports.
Does
It
he remember
was-
his tattoo?
He knows. I don't know if he's checked over his own tattoos recently.
I specifically asked about that one,
You did
Yeah.
ask if it was still there, which you did.
but I don't remember it.
You don't remember where it came from. It's not one of your tribal tattoos for sure.
No, it's white. I don't know where this came from.
Because we were at Golden Fields briefly before coming to Nightstone.
Yeah,
If
we
I
were
stabbed
there.
you
We were
right
like
now-
things. We went. Things seem fine, and then left. But we went there, but I still don't remember there.
Yeah, and
I mean-
to clarify, you guys do remember the general broad strokes of what happened. You remember you went to Golden Fields, but you don't remember what happened there. You remember
Yeah.
going to the forest, to Crypt Garden Forest, but you don't remember what took place there. You remember the broad journey you took and the destinations you went, but you don't remember the details of what happened in those places.
So, Anna, you don't remember that tattoo, and I'll point to the one that's different than what I'm assuming is his tribal tattoos, because I've never officially asked him about all of them, but one of them looks clearly different.
Yeah, as a point of clarification, just the right half of me is of a nook is tattooed, and they're all black except for the one white lotus that's on his shoulder.
And I'll point to the White Lotus and say, you don't remember getting that tattoo?
Oh way. You'd think I would remember, but no, I don't remember.
But that means that it's part of our lost memories, because that means you would have got it with us, because you remember your family, right?
Do you remember all of your other tattoos?
Oh yeah, I remember them.
So you would have got it with us, because it's part of the lost memories.
I get the tattoos when something happens, something important. I make a connection, like this guy right here, the shark. We were out on the ocean and we were swimming and playing, and the sharks come up and I'm like, hey, and I could talk to the sharks and they were pretty cool, but they were hungry, so we decided to get out before they decided to munch on us. And that was the first time I spoke to the sharks, so it was a pretty important thing. So I had that tattooed,
So what would you get a tattoo of a White Lotus from?
I don't know. Maybe that's something we should see if we can unlock those memories like we did with our friend.
Do we remember Waterdeep? Because not a lot happened in Waterdeep.
You don't remember any specifics of Waterdeep, no.
But we remember we went there.
Yeah. You remember you went there several times.
I think we should just check out this cave like we were talking. Maybe we could see the lights, whatever. And then maybe we just retrace our steps and see what we can remember as we retrace through maybe what we remember, yeah?
Nice, Anna, you don't have any tattoos, do you? Like that?
Not that I know of. Kind of like pulls some stuff aside, checks himself. Like I did not. We don't really have tattoos in my tribe. I mean, my eldest brother probably has gotten a
Maybe-
couple because
Maybe that's what's wrong. Maybe you need to get a tattoo. Maybe
Just,
that's maybe you getting a
just
tattoo
as an
will fix it.
aesthetic standpoint, does this tattoo look like a normal tattoo, or does it look slightly different? Like, does it look like there's something about it that could be different?
There's no scarification anywhere. There's no signs of, especially with the technology that would have been used or lack thereof.
well, and especially
Uh,
his tattoos are like the very traditional tap way.
There's light scarring underneath all of Anuk's tattoos from his tribe, and there's no signs of scarring in any way.
I would like to cast detect magic on Anuk's shoulder.
You
think-
cast Detect Magic. Your party's various gear and garb they've acquired glows. And looking at Anuk's tattoo, there is a magical glow. It looks like an enchantment magic school.
It is a magic tattoo, Anuk.
It's magic.
It's magic. It's glowing. You are enchanted by the flower, I guess.
I do think they're enchanting, but I didn't know I was enchanted by one.
And at this point, I'll say, well, Anuk, if I may, and I'll kind of wave my hand sideways and my book of shadows will pop up. And I was like, well, you literally watched me do this with all the magic items we had yesterday. I could try to see if I can identify your tattoo.
It's a tattoo right there.
But
I
it's a
identified
magical
it.
tattoo.
We're good. Oh, you want to identify the magic of the tattoo? Go for it.
Mhm. Like we could do that while we're just sitting in a cart going to the back to the cave of Nightstone. Like,
That Geragek, how do you feel?
Oh, great.
Do you feel any different?
No. Just
All of
very happy, full
Nightstone
of joy.
burned down? Dandelion got flung out of the. This means nothing to you. Templar died.
Yeah,
Took a Gera nap.
I do that from time to time.
Okay.
Nothing said about that.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't creeped out it for a while before, but I don't think there's anything I can do to fix it now. But we'll need to fix it. Maybe.
Or maybe it will fix itself. I doubt it, but maybe it will.
I don't know what happened. So I guess I will ritual cast identify as we are going to this Nightstone cave to see if the lights are still there for other people to access.
You cast Identify on this magical effect. You get a sense of a strong protection. It applies to Anuk in a very specific way, but it does not end there. When you cast Identify, you see these strands of magical energy are reaching off of the tattoo itself and branching off in these strands of bright green colored energy that reach and leap off, and they split off into long, like spider webbing branches that reach off, and some of them go into the grass surrounding the road. Some of them reach far off into the trees you can see in the distance. And you see this strong, solid beam shooting off in the general direction of like a northwest or northeast rather, that you can't see where it ends. It splits off far in that direction. You can see, following that strong green beam, you can see hundreds of thousands of these little split pathways that connect at all sorts of various points, that spanning off well past your eyesight.
There's like one solid beam that stands
Yes.
out more than the others.
Mm-hmm.
Alex, can you put the Storm Coast map up?
I was about to ask if I could see the map from whoever had it.
You guys are going back up into the Ardeep forest here. You guys are on this little like subsection of road right here.
Okay. And you said northeast or northwest?
Northeast.
Northeast. That is in the direction of Golden Fields.
It is also the direction of the High Forest and Star Mountains and many other places. But that might be a good place to start.
Yeah, but so I got to get nice. Like I feel like we've been to Golden Fields, and if if the light keeps going past, I'll inform the group of this spider web of green light that I'm seeing, and I'll tell them that it's connected to nature from looking at it, having it connected to grass and trees, and it was like I don't know if it's powering the tattoo, but your tattoo is very connected to nature.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I connected to nature too.
That's what I'm saying. Like it fits, but like there's one very different beam that just kind of goes to the north and northeast, which from here, that's a lot of this entire
why don't
place,
we maybe
but-
start chasing our step after the cave? We start chasing our steps back, like we were saying. But now that we know about this, we maybe we keep an eye on it.
I'll say every once in a while I can cast Identify and see if the beam changes directions ever.
Or as we get closer, if anything else happens, or follow it somehow. When we get the right road, maybe we'll follow it.
And at that point, while we're sitting here, I don't know how close we are to the Cave of Nightstone at this point.
Pretty close. It's not. I mean, it's not far. It was a few hours travel.
Oh, so while we're doing this, I could get a short rest while driving the cart.
Sure.
Hmm.
Expo slots, yay!
Yeah, so I mean, if anybody needs to actually rest or whatever, I have no exhaustion. I can drive. I'm not sure how well, but I can.
I'll say I also have no exhaustion and no need to rest currently.
No, the reason I wanted the short rest was because I could get my
Wild shapes.
wild shape and through natural recovery, I can get my one spell slot back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can drive for a while.
Driving doesn't take a whole lot of effort.
It's light action, like that light activity.
Yeah.
It's different if you guys are like marching than it is like riding on carts.
Yeah. But with a Nook having, eagle belly flopped, I'm kind of willing to just let him sit and chill and take a breath of fresh air. It was awesome. It was fun to watch.
With Ivan tied to the cart, floating
With
along.
his Ivan balloon.
No, I'm totally resting if we're going that long. I need my spell slots back too. Yeah, so I'm going to have the cart and rest.
Perfect. You guys do make it back to the cave, and with Ivan's guidance and showing you where to look, you guys look inside of this weird porous spike that came out of the ground, and you see Ivan, make an investigation check for me.
Investigation?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
7.
That's amazing.
Okay. You guys do see this like light purple energy.
So what do? Do we just like touch it?
I
Stare at it?
I reached out to it and it kind of wrapped around me and pushed me.
Anik, your hand meets this purple energy and you feel your consciousness lifted out of your body. You find yourself soaring through the skies as you've done many times before as an eagle or various other birds or aviary creatures. But as you take a look around the sky, you see that the sky is blue. You can see white clouds sifting through the skies, and you can see all of the storm coast below you. With Ivan telling you about how this worked for him, I'm not going to ask for immediate reactionary thoughts or anything like that. It is, what would you like to focus on?
If I'm currently like above the cave or flying around the above the our deep forest, then I'm gonna go in that northeast. Was it northeast or northwest?
Northeast.
So kind of toward Grud Hog.
Ish, yeah.
Okay, then I will go in that direction.
You try to focus and try to move yourself along, and the energy doesn't seem to respond. You gather that your focus needs to be on some sort of specific location.
Then I'll go check out Golden Fields.
Okay. Your consciousness drifts in the direction of Golden Fields, and you find yourself floating directly over the center of town where this tree has been grown. It didn't register at first, but being here, your consciousness being here, you remember the events that came from Golden Fields. it's not like your memories came rushing back to you. It's like they've always been there. There's this, you remember the attack on Golden Fields. You remember Tempard creating the shrine. You remember the druids. You remember where you got your tattoo. And from where you're sitting, you see that Golden Fields is thriving again. You see people out working all of the fields. You see the tree has grown much more than it should have over the few days you've been gone.
Yeah, I've seen it happen before.
Yeah. It is from going from this like 150-foot tall, large tree in the center, it stands about 400 feet tall.
It's bigger than most of the dead trees I've seen.
Yeah. And it is massive. But still, at the center of the trunk, you can see the shrine that Tempard made is still this focal point for this energy.
Goofy looking tree.
Okay.
You feel your consciousness lift once more. You find yourself soaring over the storm coast.
Hasn't snapped me back yet.
It has not.
So I remember, what was his name? Owen?
Orin?
The halfling.
Orin?
Orin.
Yeah. Orin was the one that Tapartos accidentally led to a life of crime. From what
Right.
I imagined.
As one does.
You didn't take the last you saw, he was still in Golden Fields.
Okay. Where did we go at? Because I know we went back to Waterdeep.
You guys did go back to Waterdeep. You went up to
Barge
the
Rite.
Barge Rite Inn after, by way of Moog's Tower and Rassalantar and Ampale and all those other little villages. You went to the Barge Rite Inn.
Well, since I'm floating up above everything, I'll go back to the Barge Rite Inn.
Okay. You go to the Barge Rite Inn and you see it's the same ramshackle town built around this one large tavern that exists. It's still
It has the dead circle, wasn't it?
the dead circle was up in
Westbridge?
Westbridge.
Okay.
The Barge Rite Inn, however, when you get there, you remember this town being full of like lowlifes and thugs and all this criminal underbelly type. And you see that they're still there, and they are there en masse. Whereas before it was this small town full of some skeevy-looking individuals, you, glancing over, get a rough estimate of a few hundred individuals gathered in this town. All of them standing not at attention like an army would be in solid order or anything like that, but they all seem to be standing around the balcony of the Barge Rite Inn itself on the ground outside, and you see someone that you don't recognize addressing this crowd.
I can't hear what's going on.
You cannot. You are up above.
So if I focus on it, will it take me in?
Is that what you would like to do? Is focus on
Yes.
getting closer? Okay, you focus on the balcony of the Barge Rite Inn, and your consciousness travels there. You hear this gentleman. He's a very tall and slender man, addressing this crowd, and he looks out. Friends, our time of waiting is coming to an end. I have received word of, well, our lucky pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. You see, we have been contracted. We have been drawn in to put an end to some things that have been going on around here that some very powerful individuals and very rich individuals want to see ended. Each of you will be split into teams that will be sent to achieve certain goals. You may remember a few days prior, we had a group of individuals that didn't necessarily fit our brand come through this way. Our job is to make sure that whatever they were trying to do doesn't happen. So we'll be sending groups on patrol. We'll be sending groups to be stationed in major towns, at the other villages, keeping an eye out and waiting to get word to me. And when they're spotted, we will come down on them like a strike of Tyr's fist. I have been promised a healthy sum of 10,000 gold to each and every one of you that helps us achieve this task. And while I don't have the funds to push this forwards, I can assure you that our benefactors certainly do. And you feel your consciousness is pulled back much faster than it had been previously, and you return to Anuk's body. You go back to your original state of memory. You don't remember having traveled to Golden Fields. You don't remember having traveled. You remember traveling there, but you don't remember the events that have taken place past Nightstone. But you do remember everything that you saw while you were there. So feel free to ask any clarifying questions you may need to ask. I know that's not exactly an easy thing to separate.
No, I think I get it, and I will tell everybody else what I saw. Not exactly everything I remember, because coming back, I don't remember everything, but
right. So Anuk would inform you all that there was a group of low-life looking individuals gathering an army together to go stop some group of people.
Do we remember going to the barge right?
No. You remember going there. You don't remember anything that happened there.
I even remember a super cool gambling game.
Dragon Cup?
Yeah.
You remember Dragon Cup.
Yeah.
You don't remember playing it. It's barge right, but you remember it. Anuk would tell you that he saw Golden Fields, but it was a very different Golden Fields than you guys had seen when you got here. The walls having been fully restored to the tree in the center, instead of being this stump with this statue on it, being this full grown tree, the plant life thriving, the city thriving. And that's about it.
Is the purple light still there?
It is.
So Golden Fields does not look here how it did there, so that might still be. I mean, we don't have to fix the place, but that still might be a key thing.
yeah, I think so. I mean, we got time. We might as well see what you guys see, but
Nook,
yeah, I think our
Can I?
best course is to just retrace our steps, like I said.
where did you see the people at? That you said we're gonna send out groups to find us and kill us for a lot of money?
We don't know it's us.
That part I don't remember.
I will
You
say
guys-
us as the players know it's us. We as
That's-
characters don't know it's us because we don't remember being there and talking to them. We just know they're
Exactly.
hunting
That
someone.
are hunting for people?
You just know they're on the hunt for a group. You don't know what group. You don't remember ever interacting with anyone there. You just remember passing through it on a journey.
Yeah, where did
has
you see that?
That much money. It was a barge rate.
Barge right? I'm gonna stick my hand in the purple light, or towards the purple light.
Ken goes to stop, not forcefully, just kind of puts his hand out in front of you as you reach for it.
What?
Can I
Are
say
you
something
using Nook
first?
get to play with these?
I believe that we should use these not as we should use these sparingly. Like we shouldn't use them all up right now. If what me and Nook saw is true, it looks as if we're looking into the world as if we're looking into the real world, right?
The world that we left.
I think we should retrace some of our steps before we have anyone else do it. Before that, actually, Ivan would like to stick his hand back into it.
Ivan, you stick your hand back into the purple energy. You feel your consciousness lift above the storm coast.
Awesome. I'll focus on golden field. Basically the same things that the Nooks are focusing on just to get through it.
You look at Nightstone, and Nightstone looks fine. You look at the place, the mountainside where you had left Zephyros' tower. It is still not there.
Can I focus on the Nightstone itself for the last one this time?
It is not that is an item, that is not a location.
Okay.
But if you focus there, is Phil and Soup still there?
So I was getting to that.
Okay.
You see an abandoned campsite that was left in a goddamn hurry.
Okay. So come back to you and say, okay, I was wrong. I guess we get unlimited use of this.
We don't know if it's truly unlimited. Like, it might be unlimited per person, but not total.
Yeah.
Also, how are you guys gonna tell me not to use it and then use it again? Rude.
You notice?
I apologize.
The purple energy
Suggestion you don't remember.
is fading. It is getting weaker and weaker. You're muted. Bro.
Muted.
I see that. I think if we're gonna do this, we need to do it quick because the light is not as strong as it was when we walked in. Yeah.
So is it fading in temporal sense or in use sense? Like over time, or does it appear to be depleted from use?
Make an investigation check.
Can I help with that? Because I'm
Sure. Make an investigation check with advantage.
Or somebody who is not exhausted could.
That's why I was like, I will hop in and
Tumult could do it instead. If I go, wait, is this fading over time?
At that point, I would
You want
try
an
to
inspiration?
remember.
I might
Okay,
be.
make
I can
an
help.
investigation check. Yeah, Garagak and Tumult look this thing over. Tumult, make your investigation check with advantage.
You could also add bardic inspiration.
21.
Have an inspiration.
No, I don't
Nice.
need it. 21.
I mean,
That's not true.
the more the better.
I'd rather it's.
Add a D8.
Well, so bardic inspiration, not a
bardic
DM inspiration, like a bardic inspiration.
Okay, yeah.
Add 1D8.
But I think for the first time since we started recording, someone at
Everybody
a
was getting
D8
mad at me for not
27.
doing it. So
27.
27. The answer is yes.
yeah.
It is fading by use, and it is fading over time. You gather you have a limited number of uses, but this is not going to be a resource that lasts forever.
Okay, so watching it for the next 30 seconds.
I touch it.
Perfect. Lysander, you reach in.
Well, the second you were like, it's fading over
Shiny.
time, I'm like, no. I want to see my family. I want to look at my home.
You look at your home. You see 20 some odd furbolgs living their day-to-day lives. You see you don't see the people you would expect not to see. You don't see the hunters or the foragers or anybody. It's middle of the day. You would expect not to have seen them there. But you do see sitting in front of a bunch of much younger furbolg children, your sister, who seems to be guiding them in a prayer to Sylvanas, from what you can tell, and teaching them about what Sylvanas' holy symbol represents and who he is as a person and as a deity and what they should look for.
She is this person. Ian's not
Thank
here.
you.
I had to do it.
in Ian's spirit.
I thought about it.
But you,
Well, as
you
a cleric, it might be a lady to her. You never know.
right?
We haven't
You,
figured out how it's divided.
You see a sister. You see your sister. and she has a big smile on her face, and all the children are laughing and cheering as she's talking. You feel like she's found a relative footing in the absence of you and your brother, doing what she can to help out. You feel your conscious. Well, hold on. So you feel your consciousness pull back above the storm coast.
I want to look at Crypt Garden.
You look at the Crypt Garden forest.
It's specifically at Gnawbone's lair.
Okay. You have never been to Gnawbone's lair.
Well, where we were when we did the Truth or Dare.
Okay.
That area.
You focus on that area, and it is trees. It is the middle of a forest.
No sign of her.
Nope. You do remember her telling you when she intercepted you in the forest to have that conversation. But yeah, where you guys met with her and on your journey down into that area, you saw no signs of Old Gnawbone anywhere.
And we said Westbridge was the one that had the dead circle?
Yes.
I want to take a closer look at
I
Westbridge.
think it was Red Larch, actually, because large trees.
Oh, that's right. That was the mining town. That was like a nothing. I want to go to that specific place. I don't care what the town was.
So Red Larch was the like mined out area where the trees had been cut down. Westbridge had the like circle where stuff didn't grow. It was like the perfect circle area.
Okay.
I want to see if there was any changes there.
You shift your essence slightly to Westbridge, and there has been no change in the circle of death for plants.
Okay.
And with that choice, you feel your essence return to your body.
I'm sorry, I got scared. I wanted to check on my family. The Crypt Garden Forest appears to be the same as it did. Anouk, did the Crypt Garden Forest look any different to you overhead here than it did when we were there?
Did it?
Because it was woods.
Oh yeah, because here I think the Crypt Garden Forest is all cut down or gone or something.
Well, now that everyone else has had a turn.
Oh no, I go ahead and check it before Tumult can reach for it.
No, I've given up. I'm just staring at the light. I just kind of walked backwards and sat down and looking at the light and judging,
I'm
trying to
just
figure out
messing
how
with
much
it.
time
Tumult, you're welcome to.
we have left.
You feel time wise, it's not great. It's not like you have 2 minutes. Go. You feel like it would last a few more days, but it's not something that you could wait a week here and come back and be able to reuse this resource.
Is it like a stone just sitting there?
It is literally like a beam of magical energy inside of the stalagmite.
And this was, we had gathered the place where Gum Gum died, right?
This is the place where
Tapartos found his remains.
Correct.
So that might also be a thing of note too. There may be more of these in other places we have touched in this way. I mean, use this one here for all you need. My share was arguably useless. I apologize, but Crypt Garden might be another place for us to look if it looks different here than it was there.
And I pointed to Cat and I say, well, obviously it's not one use only.
Tumult, you have the brains, or Geragak, you have things you probably want to see back home. Tempart, what do you want to find the temp estate?
I want to check on my house. I also want to look at the Crypt Garden Forest, and I want to look at. There's one more place. Where did I want to look? What was that? It was. I think I wanted to look at Waterdeep.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is like kind of retracing steps.
No, just everything that I care about.
Then I guess while staring at the light when we use it, I want to try to figure out if I can guess how much time it takes off every time we use it. Since I've
Um,
seen it shrink like 4 times now.
I want to specifically try to find. Do I remember Big Lots from Waterdeep?
no.
Well, once you touch the light, you might.
Tempard, you are reaching out and touching the light.
Well, I was gonna actually just
Okay.
like fully walk into it. Nobody else has done that. They've all just been like,
It is holes about yay big or so
okay.
in a stalagmite.
Oh, okay. I thought it was, you said like a beam, so I was just imagining just like,
So there's a stalagmite and the beam is on the inside.
okay.
But the only way you can access it is through these small, like porous holes on the outside.
Sounds dangerous, but okay.
Anouk, have you let the rest of us know that Lion Dandy said help him before we leave?
Thought I did.
I was just checking. I have that in my notes. Like he wrote it in the book.
Yeah, and going. Anouk would not keep anything from the group. He is very open and honest about that stuff. So I'm sure I told you, but I don't remember if I said.
So Tempard, you reach out and you touch the light.
Mhm.
Where is the first place you focus on?
My house.
The Tempest Estate?
Yeah, at the Tempest Estate, yeah.
Everything seems to be in full functioning order. You see people walking around. You see new recruits getting set up for training. You see some light hazing being done to some of the newer temp-born
Yes.
children. But everything seems to be fine.
And my house seems in order and everything like that.
Yeah.
Cool. It's been ages since I've been there. I just wanted to check on that. I asked the woman next door to take care of it. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that she was.
And where else would you like to focus?
The Crypt Garden Forest, specifically like the edge of the forest where we first met Nalbon.
You focus on that spot on the edge of Westbridge, and it looks the same. It's a line of trees leading to town. You see people walking in the town.
First time I saw the love of my life. It would be very important to me. And then I was just saying Waterdeep, but we don't know if Big Lots is there because we don't. Well, what I remember of Big Lots at this point by
When your consciousness goes back to the prime material, then yes, you do remember everything.
Okay, then I want to check and see if Big Lots is still there.
You focus on Big Lots shop,
Yeah.
and nothing happens.
Okay. Fantastic.
But Big Lots was a weird place in time and space.
It's an extra dimensional space, I think.
Your consciousness is not pulled away. You are still here. It is not like a wasted third thing. You can still check on another place.
I don't know if there's anything else I really need to check on. Any ideas? For like another place that I would check.
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
That's fair.
I mean,
but
I'd have ideas, but I wouldn't be able to tell you. I'm sorry.
that's fine. How about where we currently are? Can I check where, like, in relation?
You want to check on like this spot?
Yes, on this spot.
You focus on this exact spot, and you find yourself in the cave inside the Deep Forest, outside of Nightstone, and you find this stalagmite in the real world, and you see that something that was missed previously. The Nightstone villagers appear to have come in and started mining out this cave some to get some stone and other resources to start rebuilding the town. And at the bottom of this stalagmite, you see that there is a small burrow underneath into this stalagmite. And laying next to this burrow and like tucked inside of it, you see a very, very mismatched small shoe.
Shoe?
A shoe.
Okay.
Zoom tight.
Make a goblin shoe.
Thank you, Dash.
Does in fact appear to be a goblin shoe.
All right. For the first time in my life, I will pull out.
Hell yeah.
So much.
Jesus. You return. You don't remember anything about the world outside, but you do remember everything you saw.
Okay. Yeah. So is the hole that's in the bottom of the stalagmite stalagmite. I was trying to get fixed in my brain. Is that hole in front of me now?
You thinking about it, it looks like it would be a foot or so underneath the dirt and like the ground stone in this area.
Okay. I start digging.
Okay. Tempard pulls away from this energy and immediately starts digging at the ground in that spot.
What are you doing, Tempard?
Digging
For what?
a shoe.
I'm just gonna stand
Shoe?
back and watch them.
I'm digging for a shoe. Are you going to help me or not?
Okay.
I mean, you dig very briefly, and you find this opening in the bottom of the stalagmite. You see that there is, in this same hole, laying on the opposite side of what you'd seen previously, another, while mismatched, roughly goblin-sized shoe.
Not a shoe.
Is it the shoe you are?
Pull the shoe
Oh.
out.
The shoe unlock.
I have no idea.
Let me see it.
It doesn't need to unlock more memories.
Oh, so we
know
remember
that
Nightstone. Or you remember
re-
Nightstone.
you remember that
One shoe.
Gum Gum wore these mismatched floppy shoes when you first met him.
Where is his other shoe?
Well, the other one that I think goes with this one is in the other world.
He was in both timelines in this specific way?
Anyone who would like to can roll an investigation check.
I would
Yes.
like to.
I'd like
May
to
as well.
help somebody give them advantage.
You want to do it, Gargak? Such a
Yeah, who wants a
Yeah.
bardic inspiration?
I mean,
I think we'll let
if you guys want to split up, there are 6 of you. 3 of you can roll with advantage if you'd like, with help from the others.
I think that Geogag, Tumult, and Anook should be the ones that roll. Personally. I mean,
Okay,
that's my
I will
opinion.
give a nook.
I mean, I understand the logic.
I'm a very perceptive person. I'm not good on investigation.
The what it comes down to mechanically is it better to have a better bonus and a flat roll, or a worse bonus and an advantage roll?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It should not be me. I have a +2 and I'll be rolling flat.
I have a
so somebody else.
+5 and I'm not.
I mean, Garrett already rolled a
So I'll give
17.
it advantage.
Yeah.
So Garrick, you have advantage. So,
So
roll
add
again.
a d8 to that.
Okay.
Tempart for all
Yeah.
intents and purposes, you have to say bardic inspiration before the check, not after the roll comes up.
They did.
I understand. I
Yeah.
understand they offered it, but adding it to Garrigak's roll after he's already rolled
Fair.
is the
No, I didn't. Not Garrigax to a nook.
okay.
Oh.
Okay. I
Oh.
misheard what you were saying.
All right.
I mean, I think you were being helped by someone, so the advantage makes sense to be.
Yeah, you
I'll
still
help
get the
Garrick.
advantage.
I got 1 point
No.
higher.
Zach, follow with me, buddy. You, Rob, and Coda are rolling with advantage
Oh, okay.
because the other 3 party members are helping you.
Yes.
And Rob gets a d8.
I had a 15.
Also, with bardic inspiration, I can have them add it before knowing the results, but as it is, or before knowing the outcome, but after seeing the roll. So that's
Huh. Fair enough.
So with the temp inspiration,
I think
21.
so. Okay. So yeah, so they get to choose when they add it.
oh, they get to
Yeah.
choose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You would have to put on them before the roll.
Yeah, which is fine. For
Which they
for
did.
future's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. So we have a 15, a 21, and an 18. Anuk, of all people, you looking down, you know dirt. You've molded a lot of dirt.
I mowed a lot of dirt.
You, looking down, notice that this dirt and this stone compound that had filled in this hole was shifted by frantic movement. That it had been sitting, and this cave hadn't been disturbed in so long that there was a lot of built up like collapse, like just small flaking collapse in the tunnel. And something moved. You would assume a small goblinoid person went to go hide in the only place they could think of to hide. Shifted into this hole, and the dirt and things that had surrounded it and built up on the stalagmite itself fell and filled in this very small burrow at the bottom of this stalagmite.
Okay.
You also remember all of the events from Nightstone now. So thinking back on when Gum Gum's remains were found, you all had assumed in your mind that because it was a loosely resembling outfitted goblin and you found his guns there, that this corpse had been dissolved by the slime.
Was he still alive?
As you think back and as you look at these details, you gather that the body that you all buried in your timeline was just one last attempt at deception while your friend Gum Gum fled for his life and found himself face first with a beam of energy connected to a Denny plane somewhere.
Oh, if I was Morzir, I'd punch you in the face.
So he was
Gum Gum
transported here?
from there to here.
Oh my god.
We downed the real Gum Gum.
Oh no!
I tried to get to
Okay.
Gum Gum as fast as I could.
You did. He
I was
went to go
hauling
hide.
ass, too.
He went and hid.
Yeah.
He followed the orders of go hide. Okay.
I wonder if he came here through this, if I could go back through this. I mean, we touching this, that doesn't do much, but well, it does a lot. But wild shape into some small vole-like creature, and I go into the burrow. I go
I
into the hole.
Put my hand on my forehead as Anuk starts running forward.
Tumul had asked me a question that I did not answer.
Okay.
I feel like I should answer that question to be fair, because this question was asked. Tumul, you think you have, after all of the uses that I've been going through, you're pretty sure you have one use left.
All right. So at this point, I'm assuming he's wild shaped.
So I will say you have that information that you can have shared with the party before you make this choice, Rob. I'm not going to stop you from making that choice. I think it's all of the logic stands that it would be a choice that Anuk might make. But with the information from Tumult, you gather this may be a one-way ticket.
I'm going to let you guys know after all these uses, there is about one whatever we've been doing worth of magic left.
I won't do it, only because in Anook's mind, he is a team player and he is here for his family, and this is his family right now. So if it worked, he would be without his family here and leave them high and dry. So I won't do it.
Generally, I won't step in and try to stop your guys' choices, but I did not want that to be Rob ran in the hole. Guess what? You're stuck on the other side of forever now, and you don't have a way to find yourself back without.
Oh, but I still have the book.
You do.
You stop writing in the book.
No.
People are mad at me for writing in the book. I did it one time,
I
made
thought people
technically a
back from
new
the dead,
religion.
man. Or
I
Like,
pointed
People
Toongak and
walk.
say that doesn't count as back from the dead.
I woke him up from a
What do you
nap.
mean? I took a nap.
Exactly. I was like,
So
exactly. He woke up from a nap, not the dead.
I'm very sorry if that was a bad call on my end to
No,
have
you're fine.
interfered with that, but I wanted all the information to be
A
out
Nook
there.
would have
before-
felt horrible.
Right. I was trying to make the call for better.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I cast detect magic again. I want to sense like what type of magic this is.
You cast detect magic. This doesn't fall into any of the schools of magic that you would normally experience.
Is it the same sort of vibe as like the book and the quill?
It's
I mean, in the sense of this is a magic beyond the base magics.
yeah, I mean, so yes and no. It is something of a relatively higher power. You get loose transmutation school vibes. You get loose conjuration vibes. You get loose there's a little bit at play here from all the schools of magic. The connection you put together is, as you're looking, it has a very, very, very strong resemblance to the magic from the book. It is a very counterposted magic to the magic in the quill.
So this is lion dandy magic. And the quill is dandelion magic. We were using opposite magics with each other. We should not do that anymore.
Can I do something real quick that everyone might hate?
You can make whatever choices you would like to make.
It's your battle plan. You do what you want.
I would like to cast Dispel Magic on it,
On the stalagmite?
on the beam, if I could.
Make me a charisma check. So it'll just be a d20 plus your charisma modifier. No proficiency, no.
That's how it works. Does it work? Yes. Okay. 19.
Your spell magic fails.
I figured it would. I I did not know what level it would be, and I was like, well.
With the combined information, Tummel and Ivan, I want both of you to make me Arcana checks with advantage.
Even though I'm exhausted still?
Yes.
Nat 20 with a +5.
Um, 18 plus 6, 23.
18 plus 6?
Yeah,
24.
20.
Do you want Bardic Inspiration? Since everybody was still mad I wasn't doing anything.
Oh, it's too late now.
I'm going to explain how you both know this before I tell you the information. Because you both do, but you know it from very different viewpoints. Ivan, you remember in the ramblings of your master, your companion, Vopride, is that correct? Okay. I wasn't sure about the pronunciation, so I want to make sure it was correct. Um,
Can you tell we fleshed out backstories?
you remember from your teachings, or not from your teachings, but from the ramblings of someone who is deeply invested in magics and alchemy and these things. You remember that that is where you know from. And
Okay.
you remember that one of the key things that Vopride hated about the Hells and then Asmodeus specifically and then the Kings of Hell was that they used this. Tumult. When you were first learning about pact magic and doing your research in those things, Ult was the only resource you truly had to learn from. Ult, almost as an antithesis to Vopride, strove for this level of power. You both know that traditionally, the magic that can be cast by mortals is separated into 10 tiers. For mechanic's sake, the 10 levels of spells. Everything that a mortal can achieve is locked in to those degrees of magic to some extent. Once someone has found a way to surpass that, no mortal has ever succeeded in doing so. Something has happened to them that caused them to no longer be a mortal. They have either died or they have ascended.
Hmm.
The magical effect here on this beam of energy that is fading, the magic on the book, the magic on the quill, the magic on Lysander's shield. Tumult, the magic on the axe, scythe, whatever you want to call it, that you found. All of these are of a power that no mortal could ever have accomplished. These are of a, maybe not fully powered, but these are deitic level magics. These are someone that has transcended all capabilities of magic that any mortal could produce. Tempart, you rolled really well. But when you introduce these kinds of levels of magic, you have to up DCs of things to counteract those things.
Okay.
So I apologize. Normally a 19 will cancel anything. You are unfortunately not strong enough to counteract loose god magic.
I tried.
This magic, I don't know what you. I'm assuming the Tempart's gonna tell us to try to dispel the magic.
Very obvious.
I mean, we saw them cast the spell.
Okay.
I mean, I'm pretty sure dispel magic is vocal, so you would hear me saying the incantation at least.
You can't dispel god magic. Or
What are you, a god now? God.
no, I point to the energy, and then I'll talk about the quill in the book and the type of magic it gives off, and then I guess I'll point it to Parto sleeping in the cart and the scythe and say, probably shouldn't let him use that either. But they are beyond human, or I should say mortal, because we're not all exactly, none of us are human, so beyond all mortal levels of magic. Like that, I mean like above, like powerful type magic.
So it is yet again us meddling with gods.
As we seem to do.
We should probably stop that. Seems to be more beneficial for our health.
Remembering the ramblings of Dandelion when I just met him. He did say that the quill and the book were not meant to be used together. Anook, do you mind if I borrow just the book? I'll take out a normal ink pen, not the artifact magical one, and I'll tell everybody I am going to write down that I no longer feel so tired. I don't feel so exhausted anymore, and we'll see what happens. Maybe just using one at a time, we can kind of control the magic a little bit better and won't have such drastic outcomes.
That is true.
Is this
I
a good
mean,
idea?
More on the point is, I think Lysander said it well enough to where the quill is not made from the same magic as that book. Like we were never supposed to write in that book with that quill.
And that is from Lion Dandy. And I trust him more than Dandelion. Which is I suppose a low
Swear.
bar, but do
you trust me more than
Lion Dandy, I do. I am not going to say it is a good idea, but I do not think it is inherently a bad idea. I just don't want you getting hurt in the process if this backfires against you.
Well, then we just spelled that magic and then everything.
It is, if it is something worth experimenting, it may be worth experimenting smaller than curing your exhaustion to start.
How about we write that we find an apple as soon as we leave the cave?
Or even better, like Tempart is holding an apple or something like that.
Tempart is holding an apple. Perfect.
Seems reasonable.
It's not directly affecting anybody.
It could affect Tempard.
Good.
And yeah, I hold an apple.
No, like you could be transported to somewhere with an apple and then now you have one in hand.
Or there's an apple laying in front of the stalagmite.
That would probably be the best answer.
Can you tell we're terrified of this object now?
Why on earth would you be terrified of this object?
We have Toongek!
You
I'm
have
great.
Toongek.
I point to the
Yeah.
I point to the dandelion.
That should have been more ecstatic,
I point to the quill and say that was also involved in that one. I don't think it was the book, just the book.
Well, I know everything we have done has been with Wolf. Ivan, I think that is a safe idea if it is something worth experimenting with.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
I'll write verbatim in the book. An apple appears in front of this stalactite. Stalagmite?
Stalagmite.
I cast prestidigitation and make an apple appear in front of it.
That's not what that spell does. You write in front of this stalagmite. Okay.
Yep.
It is a non-magical trinket. Or illusionary image.
It could be an illusionary apple, sure.
There we go.
If you want to.
Yeah, I'm doing it anyway. It's a cantrip.
So an illusory apple appears.
It worked?
Tempard.
I'll go to pick the apple up.
Your hand grasps an apple.
And if I lift it up, is there just an image of an apple still there while I'm holding an apple?
You pull it up, and this apple is brightly fluorescently like rainbow colored, and it's swirling with like a pearlescence.
I can't tell if that is normal because we are here, or if it is because of the book.
You give it like a gentle squeeze. You know, apples are firm, like they're firm fruits if they're ripe.
Uh-huh.
And it squishes ever so slightly.
I feel like this is just normal to this world.
Does it make a squeaky noise?
It does not make a squeaky noise.
Damn it.
Cut it open. What is the inside of these weird
Hey,
apples?
can I see that before you cut it? Can I see it? I mean, I know apples, yeah?
pocket.
I look it over, except for the coloring and the squishiness. It's an apple.
It looks like an apple, yeah.
I bite it.
So you go to bite it,
Yeah.
and your teeth like kind of like indent a little bit and bounce. You feel it. It feels like a bouncy ball.
I throw it.
It's like a rubbery, like
No, I,
you throw
I
it?
throw it on the ground
it.
and catch it. Hey, this pretty cool, yeah? Bounce it off the wall, catch it.
I feel like that's just an apple from this world. Kind of walk away and say, all right, so you know what? Fuck what I gotta go do. Fuck this.
I think I'll try to keep it. You know, maybe we'll run into maybe I'll make a friend like a wolf or something, and it'll be a good thing to throw and play with. And then I'll suddenly have a sad muscle memory moment.
I
So that seems benign enough.
hate that I want to ask this, but I'd like to use the quill, not in the book, on a normal piece of paper.
The reason why I used the book specifically was because it has the symbol of lion dandy on it. We know that Dandelion's pissed off at us. I think we should be a lot more careful with the quill than we are with the book.
You know, you could probably also sit with these items for a night and you might know more about them than just blindly trying.
I don't know. I've had them for a long time, you know, with me, and I don't know much about them.
You have not attuned with them.
That's an idea. Does someone want to try to attune with one or the other?
Everyone's so scared of attuning to my weird magical items. I don't understand why.
I'll do it.
I mean, I don't mind.
Just say I'll
But,
do
like,
it.
I was like, does anyone care if I use the
Garagak,
last?
do you know how to read?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mama Bear taught you reading?
Yeah.
Good for her.
Mama Bear's dope as hell.
Yeah.
Meet Mama
Does anyone care? And I'll point to stalagmite. If I use the last charge of magic in that thing, it's gonna fade over the next day anyway.
I mean, if you have something you need to look at, it's very reasonable to do so.
I would like to, yes.
Right? You reach in, you feel your consciousness float over the storm coast. Your memories are back.
So I take note of that, like my memories are back. And to myself, I would like to make a thought of like no one talked about how their memories came back. So in my mind, I'm assuming we forget when we go back. So this is really the real world, and our memories are foggy because we're in a different world. I would like to go to Golden Fields, specifically at the spot I remember a Nook getting his tattoo. Because I remember we were all standing there when he was talking to the druids after they put out the fires.
You go to that spot next to this large tree that is now grown, and you see still there a now foot tall, large, 1.5 foot wide blossomed dandelion.
And then at this point, I'd like to check myself. Does it feel like I am casting a spell?
No.
Can I attempt to cast Identify? I want to see if it works or not.
Nothing. You don't feel any sort of connection to your powers or
Okay.
anything else. This is just
So
this is just your
out of body
consciousness.
experience. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like I'm just testing what my limits to what I can do in here.
Sure.
Okay. And then I would like to focus on Sistina. Does it work with people? I don't remember.
It does not. It has to be a
It has to be a
location.
location. Then I will not worry about them for now. I would like to focus on where I met up with the group after they called Zephyros, because I came with Zephyros when they called him, because I was gone after their adventure to the demi-plane. I would like to see that mountain.
To the where like the second time where everything went all like batshit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you go to that spot and the mountain looks like it always has. It's tall, hardy. None of the damage or chaos exists anymore.
Okay. And then lastly, I would like to focus on the barge ride in for what Anook had told me about.
You focus on the barge right. You see, looking down, you see that there are people handing out. The group is no longer standing and staring at the balcony. They have split into groups of what look to be 10 to 15 individuals each. And each of them have someone standing in front of them, barking orders, things of that nature.
And if I try to focus in as close as I can get to the people handing out stuff, do I just immediately lose? I get pulled back, or?
You do. So as soon as you go to focus on another spot, your consciousness pulls back towards you. And as you release, you guys look and the purple energy is gone.
So I lose my memories, but I remember that I had remembered my memories now. Because
Nope.
You remember a dandelion?
That is a you do remember a dandelion. The second biggest dandelion you've ever seen, not counting Dandy Basher.
Yes.
I would like for us to go to Golden Fields.
That seems like a good place to continue.
That on the other side, I don't know why. I don't remember why I went there, but I went to Golden Fields, and now I remember a very, very large dandelion, and I point to Dandy Basher, kind of like that, but not as big.
I think maybe we should go to Waterdeep first and truly retrace our steps to make sure we don't miss any details. While we
Are
try.
you allowed back in Waterdeep?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Something about
What?
a demon?
Huh? What?
You may not
So anyway,
know that.
let's go to Waterdeep.
We definitely heard about a demon.
He was just helping the people out. He's a hero of Waterdeep, don't you know?
And I mean, Waterdeep is on the way.
And I mean, if it really matters that much, hey, Eric, can I remember one of the random people that the demon killed? Like what they look like?
Sure.
Cool. I'll cast this guy's self on myself and look like one of them.
Great. You do that.
Why would you? Who's that?
No one. A citizen that is more than likely on a vacation trip outside of Waterdeep right now.
Inside check.
You wanted him to blend in. He looks like a normal Waterdeep citizen.
You have you also have no reason to suspect anything different.
Right. There is no party versus party rules. It's all character interaction.
This is weird.
Oh, look, another tune.
But
He's
yes,
not
I think
wrong.
making our way to
Yeah. It would look like a tune.
Golden Fields, and we can definitely stop in Waterdeep on the way. I remember being in Waterdeep, but I don't know what happened
I mean,
there.
that makes sense. You know, that's, I think, what we did last, the last time, the first time, that one time.
I remember going through Waterdeep after Nightstone, but before Golden Fields, and I just personally don't want any gaps in my memories. So that's my vote, but it's what everyone decides.
I think we were going to Waterdeep from Nightstone, so maybe that's what we should do.
I mean, it's literally on the way, so we can't not.
All right, so the party collects themselves. You start traveling towards Waterdeep. You make relatively good time on these carriages.
I would ask once we had set out immediately if I could see the quill, not to write in it, but I want to check it out. Not to write with it. I want to check it out.
Remember that that could be a connection to Dandelion. Be
That's
very
why I'm
careful.
interested, because if that stuff makes tune things, because Dandelion's tied to Toon World, or Lion Dandy's tied to Toon World, does Dandelion's magic give us something else?
So, what I recall from the events that happened since we arrived in this world, we had not seen Dandelion until we used that quill. I'm worried that using it will allow him access back to this world.
We had not seen Dandelion until you touched the stalagmite.
Because he used the quill to bring Garagak back when he wrote in the book, because he told me he wrote in the book.
It's just a possibility. Let us know if anything weird happens. So
I mean, like I said, I don't plan on using it right away, but I would like to
How long does
hopefully
it take us to get back to Waterdeep?
figure out what the hell this is.
So you guys are traveling. It's gonna be about 5 to 6 hours travel overall. If it's nice easy journey. These carts are fast. Like these horses are not your average ponies and horses pulling carts. Like these things are fast, which almost makes it more terrifying that Dandelion was keeping pace with you when you were running. You guys travel. Tumult, I'm assuming you're going to take an hour resting to try to attune to the quill.
I'm gonna do what I can.
Okay. And everybody else, take off your headphones, turn off your audio or whatever. I will do this when you're good to bring your audio back. Make sense? You attune to the quill. You find yourself, as soon as you start the attunement process, sitting inside of a massive courtroom. You see sitting in front of you a person wearing all white. No features, no facial features, do anything. You hear a voice that rings out to you. Greetings, young one. I see you have found my boon to the world.
The quill?
The quill indeed. I call it Oathkeeper.
Oathkeeper. Why?
Because that's what it does.
Oh. Yeah, I fucked up.
Any contract formed while signing with Oathkeeper can never be broken.
Yeah. Okay. So, and that includes if you forcefully make someone sign with it?
That is the true power of order, is it not?
I just wanted to make sure that that's in my brain. That's how this works. I appreciate you for clarifying.
You should know that not everyone can achieve the true power that Oathkeeper gives.
I'm assuming it's because it's above mortal magic.
Well, anything that I would create would be above mortal magic.
Is this space something you created?
It was a gift from my father.
And that is
My father?
you or your father. I would like to know who I'm talking to. I feel it's rude to not know your name, and thank you for making this object.
Of course. My name is Ketra. My father's name is Sol. I must ask, do you wish to channel the power of Oathkeeper for yourself?
Is it gonna kill me?
No, dear Lord, no. The power of order cannot overtake the power of chaos if the person wielding one of the truest items of order is killed. Now, unless, of course, that is you say no.
I'm not against it. I. It seems like this will be important into helping my friends. As long as you don't. Do you care how it's used?
I care that it is used to bring order where there is chaos.
I find that slightly comforting, actually, that you are. Excuse me if I'm rude, Ketra. I will bow my head. But you are definitely one of the nicer people I've met of power. I mean, I'm sure you'll say like, "Oh, you haven't met me or whatever," but like, trust me, this is a breath of fresh air, if you will.
We shall see.
But if your power will have me as someone that's
You have
interested in
Oathkeeper
magics,
with you, correct?
is currently in my hands, yes.
Then all you must do is sign. And you see a contract folds out before you.
Do I get to read it?
If you would really like to.
Not heavily, but
You give it a quick scan. If you're just doing like a quick scan over, like
I'm mainly looking for if it involves me owing a favor, or if somebody tells me that when asked I have to obey them.
make an investigation check.
Oh God.
You don't see a thing.
Fucking hell. Of course I go from nat 20 to nat 1.
Sure you do.
I will sign the contract with my full name.
You sign the contract. Zach, I need you to go to your character sheet.
I'm on my character sheet.
Your alignment is changing from whatever it currently is to lawful good.
Yeah, it went from neutral. It's not terrible. Lawful good.
I need you to go to your flaws section.
Flaws.
Any agreement that you enter, you will act out to completion.
Act out to completion.
You will destroy anyone or anything that stops you from completing any agreement you enter.
Does that include any previous?
You don't know. Now, the benefits. You instantly know if someone is lying. The only people that are immune to that are going to be your own party. Or someone who is more powerful than Kendra. You gain, you need to go to, on D&D Beyond, you need to go to Insight. Click on the bubble next to the skill. I want you to overwrite your score to a 10.
So skill override 10?
Yep.
So it's a plus 10?
Correct.
And it is the quill or whatever for a reason.
Yeah, Oathkeeper. And that is it. Tumult, you attune to the quill. Your party travels onwards. And as you're crossing the bridge across the Desaran River, sitting in the middle of the bridge, you see a humanoid figure, a long cloak, hood pulled over his head, brightly colored, like light blues and yellows, and a mixture of wonderful bright colors, who, as you approach, pulls the hood back and appears, revealing a tabaxi. Young tabaxi gentleman who looks at me and
There's
goes,
another kitty.
No kid.
"Ah, good tidings to all of you.
It's my kitty.
Tell me, are you a fan of games?"
Yes.
And that is where we're going to end this episode of The Dice That Bind Us. We will see you all next week as we continue our journey. Thank you very much for joining us in this wonderful adventure. Hope to see you next time.